Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's ChrisXradio.
ChrisXradio. What we need right now is a clear message to the people of this country. This message must be read in every newspaper, heard on every radio, seen on every television. This message must resound throughout the entire interlink.
And now, your host.
I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Chris X.
Is it already that time again? I do believe it is, Mr. Behemoth. I do believe it is. Good afternoon and welcome to Chris X Radio. I'm the aforementioned X-Man, along with Gary Behemoth. He has assumed control of the airwaves. He'll maintain control of these airwaves for the next 2 hours, as of course we come bearing a gift beyond price that is almost free, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the spirit of talk radio, and we got boatloads to get into, and I mean boatloads. U of H plays tonight in San Antonio for the NCAA championship against the Florida Gators. Had a big come-from-behind win the other night, and here they are playing for the championship. They've never won an NCAA championship. So go Cougs. Got to win. Oh, look at it. There they are on the news as we're speaking. Now, I'm a University of Houston graduate, so I may be a little biased. But go Cougars. And you know what? I've seen some I don't think they're Cougars, but I've seen some of those cats go eat those Gators. So let's go U of H. They've got some pretty good momentum going. Apparently so does the Florida Gators. So that ought to be a good game tonight for those who watch basketball. I have not been watching. I'll be the first to admit I didn't really watch very much when I was there, and I don't watch now. I don't really watch, as you guys know, I don't watch a whole lot of sports. But so anyway, so that's going on tonight. So that's a big deal. We got that going on tonight. We got a pizza party coming up this Friday. I'll talk about that in a minute. Joining us today on the program, figured we'd do a little tariff talk, is Matt Locke from the Voice of the Working Man podcast. We'll catch up with him as well. Tons going on, but if I sound a little loopy, it might be from the blizzard I had at the station earlier today. Oh, man, shout out to Dairy Queen for bringing out blizzards to the station today. All I got to say about that is DQ. That's what I like about Texas. I love their commercials. If I had my guitar, I'd play the jingle, but I don't know the jingle, so I guess I won't. I'll just say this, that I love blizzards. Thank you very much to Dairy Queen for bringing out the blizzards today. They brought the confetti blizzard, which had like little pieces of cake in it and the confetti stuff. And, I wasn't sure if you were supposed to eat it at first, but no, it was good. But the thing is, I've never had a bad blizzard. I like just about all of them. I prefer the chocolate ones. Those are really good. What is it? The chocolate brownie, was it brownie batter surprise or whatever? Anyway, today we had the confetti blizzards. So apparently those are pretty happening. But nonetheless, everybody at the station got one. And for those who partake in the blizzards, they were delicious. It's a little cool out, but it was sunny. So it worked out. But, yeah, big thanks to Dairy Queen. I know I'd heard that some of the locations were closing, but I don't know which ones. The ones around me are all good, and they brought us some today. So thank God. Participate in your local Dairy Queen. The thing is, I hit Dairy Queen up about once or twice a month. They've got chicken and dumplings now at some locations, I guess. So good. Of course, you can't go wrong with their Hunger Buster and their other stuff. But, man, it's hard for me to go to a Dairy Queen and not get a blizzard. I'm serious. It's really hard. So, nonetheless, I love blizzards, and thank you very much for you guys bringing out blizzards. That was pretty awesome. So, shout out to Dairy Queen for bringing us blizzards at the station today. Yeah, I'll talk to Matt Locke, see if he likes blizzards too. He's because he wasn't born in Texas. He just got here as soon as he could. All right, so there's a lot going on, as I mentioned. Something's coming up this Friday. I cannot believe it. Like it got here fast. It got here real fast. In fact, it got here way quicker than all the others. Oh, there we go.
Let's have a pizza party.
Pizza party coming up this Friday, April 11th from 3 to 5 p.m. at Russo's Pizzeria, 5727 Westheimer at Chimney Rock. This is our first pizza party of the year, folks. Our first one with Donald J. Trump as president, as Tariff Palooza is going on. So if you're watching the stock market and you're feeling kind of sad about your portfolio, come on out. We'll give you some free pizza. That makes everybody feel better. So we got your pizza party coming up this Friday from 3 to 5, which is good because that's should be right in between lunch and dinner. So kick out of the office a little early. Come on out, hang out with us. It is over there right on the corner of Westheimer and Chimney Rock. It is Russo's Pizzeria, kitchen and pizzeria. That we'll have free pizza. We're going to have free hors d'oeuvres. We're going to have fun. We'll be socializing. We'll be talking about taxation as theft. Not really. I mean, that's the title since, it's April 11th, and on the 15th you get tax day. So they can't tax you on free pizza or free hors d'oeuvres or free desserts provided by Richard Rosso with RIA Advisors. He said he's going to buy desserts. He did last time. They were incredible. Oh, as much as I like those blizzards, those desserts were so good at Russo's. So if you want to attend, by the way, anyone can come out, absolutely come on out. But if you can, send me an email so that way I'll have a good head count. So we'll know. I'm still getting emails over the weekend, which is awesome. You guys have been doing a great job of letting me know. Please email me if you can. If not, you're still welcome to attend. We should be good, but we do have I can't guarantee you pizza if you show up late and you don't email me. ChrisX at KSEVradio.com. ChrisX at KSEVradio.com. Join us for our Taxation is Theft Pizza Party Friday, April 11th. At Russo's Pizzeria, Westheimer at Chimney Rock. We're giving away 4 custom knives from Glenn over at Lone Star Knives. Also, from what I'm told, Chris will be there and he'll have some knives there. So if you don't win one and you want to purchase one, there'll be knives available for purchase. And trust me, they're worth it. I bought one from him and he gave me one. So I've got 2 of them and I freaking love them. Also, I saw them today. The tumblers, the new tumblers we got in from Kurt over at Texas Hardwood Products, we'll be giving away those. By the way, he emailed me and let me know those are generally sell for $20 to $25 a pop. So whereas I think I don't know how much the Lone Star knives sell for. I guess the kind that I bought, the nice buck knives, or well, in my case, they're hog knives. They're about $100 a pop. But then again, I got custom knives, so there's that. Prices are all over the place depending on what kind you get. But I saw the new tumblers. They're freaking awesome. They look fantastic. And people love those tumblers. I'm not a tumbler guy, but man, if you want one, you better be there. We're going to be giving those away. We've got, once again, it's Kurt at Texas Hardwood Products. Thank you very much, Kurt. And then we got station swag. We're going to be giving away some station mugs and some T-shirts and other stuff. So we'll be giving that away. So come on out. We've had so much fun at our previous 3 pizza parties. Yeah, we had them. The last one we did was in October before Donald Trump got elected. So this will be the first one since he's elected. We'll see if the markets have recovered by then. They had a bit of a recovery today, but then it ended up going back down. So there was that. But anyway, if you want to attend, once again, you can come on out. But if you have time, shoot me an email, ChrisX at KSEVradio.com. That'll give me a head count so we'll know how many people to expect. Because we want to make sure we get free pizza for everybody, free hors d'oeuvres. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, we'll have free dessert as well. Because Rich Rosso bought everybody dessert last time, and he plans on doing that again. So that's going to be very cool. All right, that's coming up this Friday. I'll ask Matt if he wants to drive down from Dallas to attend. Andy Kahn's going to be there. Holly Hansen. So from the Texan, Andy Kahn from Crime Stoppers, and we may have some other celebrity appearances. I have not gotten confirmation from them, but I will let you know when I do. All right, so here's what we got lined up for today. First of all, if you want to join us, 281-558-KSEV. That's 281-558-5730. 838. President Trump is now threatening China with an additional 50% tariffs in response to President Xi Jinping's announcement that the communist country would impose retaliatory tariffs on the U.S. It's very different what's happening with some other countries, and we get into that. Last week, during a speech at the Rose Garden, Trump announced reciprocal tariffs, which some people don't know what those are. But anyway, on countries that have historically imposed high tariffs on the United States. Among those countries, of course, is China. China, okay. I do believe it's called China, everybody. China. China. So he slapped a 34% tariff to the additional tariffs that have already been put on place in China. And then China responded by saying, what? No. They're going to an additional 50% tariff on us. Yesterday, Trump said, yesterday, China issued retaliatory tariffs of 34% on top of their already record-setting tariffs, non-monetary tariffs, illegal subsidization of companies, and massive long-term currency manipulation. Despite my warning that any country that retaliates against the U.S. by issuing additional tariffs above and beyond their already existing long-term tariff abuse of our nation will be immediately met with new and substantially higher tariffs over and above those initially set, Trump wrote on True Social. And he took questions this afternoon about it. Now, here's the interesting thing. That's China. Looks like we'll get in a tariff war. It's actually, believe it or not, it's going to hurt China a lot worse than us. And I'm sure by now, it's funny, we've heard people call in, other people, these tariffs, in other words, we want status quo. If tariffs are bad for the U.S., then why are they good for how many countries that are posing them on us? How come they're good for other countries but not good for us? Start getting off into some areas where people don't really want to answer those questions, which is why certain people didn't, and then they run off into left field and try to let everybody keep tariffing us, and we're going to do nothing about it. Shut up, leave it alone. Yeah. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said the bloc has offered a 0-for-0 tariff trade arrangement on industrial goods with the United States in a bid to avoid the full-on trade war. So the EU chief said, boom, that's it. We're going to drop our tariffs, and if you drop yours, we're good to go. There, boom. Guess who else is doing this? Israel has agreed to drop their tariffs already. Taiwan has agreed to drop their tariffs. Heard somebody say that Vietnam has agreed to drop theirs as well. There's 50 different countries have already said they want to talk to President Trump and are already starting to work with it. Watch how quickly things start correcting as these countries start dropping their tariffs, and then we drop ours. We'll get into that. Also, fake news. Sure, you saw the protest over the weekend. Well, you would think job approval for Trump would be in the tank. It's not. It rose 4 points last week from 49 to 53%. So the fake news media, the left-wing propaganda outlet of the Democrat cult is doing their job. They're going out trying to convince people that, it's all these things and Trump's doing terrible and it's the end of the world and, oh, my God. Now, there was the Hands Off 2025 tour. All these people across the country, thousands of protests up against Trump. They were dancing against protest. They're rapping against protest. And one illegal alien spoke at an anti-Trump rally in Washington, D.C., proudly proclaiming that she is unafraid of being undocumented and queer. I am an immigrant. I am undocumented, unafraid, queer, and unashamed. Grisa Martinez Rosas wrote, who's a lefty activist, of course. We'll get into that and just wonder how long it goes. Oh, and by the way, very quickly before we go to break, President Trump hosted the 2024 World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers at the White House today. And during the celebration, a couple of Democrats tagged along thinking they'll just be able to go, hang out with Trump and with the Dodgers and get celebrated. But no.
Congratulations, Brian. And others. We have a couple of senators here. I just don't particularly like them, so I won't introduce. Over the course of this amazing season, the members of this team... I didn't think it was that big a deal, actually. Washington.
Trump, the insult comic president. So there you go. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. It looks like we got Cracker Smoker out in Pearland. We'll talk to him. We had some people talking about him last week. I'm going to see if that Cracker Smoker is going to show up with his pal, Luigi the Squeegee, of course, at the pizza party on Friday. Which, by the way, I hope you guys show up. It's from 3 to 5 p.m. this coming Friday at Russo's Pizzeria, located at Westheimer at Chimney Rock, right there on the corner. So come on out and have fun. If you remember, go ahead and send me an email, chrisx@ksevradio.com. That way I'll know you're coming. Make sure you get free pizza and hors d'oeuvres and all that fun stuff. All right, you're listening to Chris X Radio. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're just getting rolling.
You're listening to Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio on AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
Do you need money? Want to lower your monthly debt? Are you thinking about a cash-out refinance? Hi, it's Kathy from Baker Mortgage. A cash-out refinance can get you back in your comfort zone, and that's what it's all about. A recent client who closed with us had his payment go up about $300, but his monthly outgo was being reduced by $1,200, so giving him a net positive cash flow of $900. It's not about adding debt, but restructuring it in a way that makes sense, and this math totally makes sense. And please don't sweat it if your interest rate is going up a little or if you're extending the term. I can show you by taking a small amount of what you're saving monthly and applying it towards your mortgage, you're going to pay it off just as quickly and you'll be way ahead in the money game, which is where we all want to be, right? Remember, we want to help you, but we're not going to help you over a cliff. Baker Mortgage, 281-313-MOVE, or go directly to bakermortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. License number 263213.
Dan Patrick for my friend Louis Flory and Ability Tree Experts.
Spring is here and summer just around the corner, which means it's time to deep root fertilize your trees in addition to spraying for insects and disease. Let Ability Trees help maintain their value and repair all damage. Fed and pruned tree will be less susceptible to wind damage and uprooting. Caring for the beautiful and valuable trees on your property that you can't replace should be done by experts. And the experts I use, it's very clear. It's Ability Tree Experts and Louis Flory, my friend for over 40 years. Gosh, this guy is the pro when it comes to taking care of trees. You know, pruning is important for the health of your trees, and pruning limits resistance to spring storms and allows the sun and fresh air into the canopy. Trees can be in distress several months without showing any signs, so don't wait to protect your investment at 281-441-4179, 281-441-4179, or visit their website at abilitytrees.com. Right now, Ability Trees is giving a deep root feeding with every tree prune. Ability Trees, Houston's leading tree care professional.
This report sponsored by Gallery Furniture. If made in America is important to you, come to Gallery Furniture. Buy it today, get it today. Gallery Furniture saves you money.
And checking your traffic, not too bad right now. I got a couple of stalls though to watch for. One on 290 eastbound just before FM 529. It's over on the entrance ramp. And watch out for a stall on the Hardy Toll Road southbound at the 610 North Loop. Seeing a lot of congestion around downtown, the North Loop and the West Loop. So be sure and buckle up.
It's a sale so tasty on Simmons Beauty Rest Black Matches. It's even more tasty than these delicious Girl Scout cookies. Save up to $1,400 on Simmons Beauty Rest Black Mattresses right now at Gallery Furniture. Save up to $1,400 on Serta Perfect Sleeper Eye Comfort Mattress right now. Buy your mattress today. Simmons Beauty Rest Serta Eye Comfort Perfect Sleeper. Gallery Furniture delivers tonight. You'll sleep great tonight. You'll have more energy. You'll feel better. You'll look better. Save up to $1,400 on Simmons Beauty Rest Black. Gallery delivers free today.
Hi, this is Paul Bettencourt. Take full advantage of property tax exemptions and protest your property values too.
Sign up with Bettencourt Tax Advisors by going online to btanow.com or by calling Paul's professional property team at 713-263-6100.
It's Specs Anniversary Sale, and we're celebrating you. So go ahead, celebrate whatever you want. Finally folded that mountain of laundry? Cheers! Woke up before your third alarm? That's wine-worthy. Specs has special savings all month long, so no excuse is too small to save big. Don't miss out. Specs Anniversary Sale is happening now. With prices like these, why wait to celebrate? Specs. Cheers to savings.
You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Chris X Radio.
Can't go wrong with little Uncle Ted. No, you cannot. All right, welcome back to Chris X Radio. I'm the aforementioned X-Man along with Gary Bohemoth. Matt Locke from the Voice of the Working Man podcast will join us in the next segment. But let's go ahead and get a call first here before we have to go to our guest. Let's go to Robert listening in Pearland, our resident murder hornet. Robert, thank you for hanging on. Welcome to the Voice of Texas.
Murder hornet. Murder hornet.
There you go. You got to get it right. Make sure you do the accent properly on both words.
Yeah, that's going to come in here in just a second. But you said you were getting Dairy Queen at the station. Congratulations. But I thought you broadcast from your house.
Well, you just never know where I'm going to be, do you?
I know you're never in Pearland. I know that much.
You know, I may put some, equipment in the back of my car, in the back of my truck, and go drive and have you wash my windshield while I broadcast live from the back of my truck on the corner of Pearland and wherever over there, just to watch you work while I work.
That's a coincidence. You know exactly where I live, Pearland and wherever. But yeah, that would be an awesome event. We would maybe want to sell tickets for that. But I wanted to give you my attendance list for the pizza party.
Okay.
It's going to be three of us: Murder Hornet, and of course it's going to be Susan, the blonde Bolshevik beauty, and she's always the prettiest Democrat in the room. And then my friend Jacques Pazza Warmer, and he's kind of a weird dude. I think he's French. I can't tell, but he's just all red, and he's just like a boxing-looking guy, like a cube. In fact, I think he's Cuban. And he has a lid and a zipper around it. And I don't know, maybe he's promoting something, but it says Domino's on the side. But anyhow, did you say there was going to be free pizza?
There will be free pizza at the free pizza party, yes.
Then he will come in handy. Jacques Pazza Warmer.
First of all, the fact that you pronounced it correctly, I guess, twice is impressive enough. So how's that go again? What's his name again?
Jacques Pazza Warmer.
All right, so what you're telling me is you're going to bring a big square container and you're going to use it to try to steal pizza? Is that what I'm getting here?
No. This is a classy thing you're pulling here. Chris, I would never sink that low. Yeah, that's what I would do.
You wouldn't speak that low, sink that low, or stink that low. Okay. Yeah, because you do all your stinking right up top, right up front.
I'm pretty, in your face with my stink, I have to admit.
Here's my other question. You strategically left off one person. What about your good friend Luigi the Squeegee? Is he coming to the party?
Well, he didn't get enough attention last time. He felt like he was blackballed and nobody cared. And he knows he's a special character. So I'm going to let him stay out because it's like he should really be getting paid to appear at your appearances.
Well, considering the pizza's free, then there you go. But unfortunately, all right, so he's done. If he wants to get paid, he's out. He's gone. He's done. He's done so. Get out of here with that, trying to get paid at my pizza party stuff.
He eats dirt all day. He doesn't eat pizza. He just eats dirt all day.
Thank you for the call, Mr. Murder Hornet. All right, the resident murder hornet out there. All right, well, good. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the pizza party on Friday, and that goes for everybody else who wants to attend. Our next pizza party is set for this coming Friday, April 11th, 3 to 5 p.m. at Russo's Pizzeria, which is located at 5727 Westheimer at Chimney Rock, right there on the corner. We're going to have free hors d'oeuvres, free pizza, fun, socializing. We got a lot of stuff we're going to be giving away. We're giving away 4 custom knives from Glenn over at Lone Star Knives, which is very cool. We have more tumblers from Kurt at Texas Hardwood Products, and these are really nice looking. These look better than the last ones, and they were pretty awesome. So we're going to be giving away those as well. Of course, we got some station swag with some KSEV mugs we're going to give away. We've got some, some T-shirts and some other things. So we got a whole lot of good giveaways. Just come on out, or if you have time, send me an email, reserve yourself, or call into the show and let me know who's coming. ChrisX at KSEVradio.com. That'll give us a head count, so we'll know how many will be there. Make sure we reserve enough pizza for everybody. Pizza and hors d'oeuvres. Oh, and Rich Rousseau from Real Investment Advisors will be buying dessert for everyone like he did last time. So it's kind of like a 3-course meal right there. So anyway, if you can't, email me. If not, just come on out. ChrisX at KSEVradio.com. Give me a head count, and there you go. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with our guest, Matt Locke from the Voice of the Working Man podcast. You know, he's up that DFW area. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it down for the pizza party, but I'll ask and see. I'll ask him, see if we can convince him to sneak on down here for the pizza party. All right, you're listening to Chris X Radio. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back with Matt Locke.
Call Chris X Radio now. 281-558-KSEV. 281-558-KSEV.
Let's be honest. No one ever thinks about their garage until it stops working. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage is noisy or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repairs. Recommended all over Houston, Garage Door Doctor is your trusted partner for all your garage door needs. Let the experts at Garage Door Doctor tune up your garage door and keep it running for a lifetime. Schedule an appointment today at garagedoordoctor.biz or call today.
Texas boasts the world's 8th largest economy. The Lone Star State is a global powerhouse and the best place in America for business. But there's a hidden tax that threatens our strength. Lawsuit abuse drives up our cost of living, costing Texas families nearly $4,600 every year. To kill the hidden tax, we have to end lawsuit abuse, to protect consumers, lower costs for hardworking Texans, and keep our economy strong. Paid for by protecting American consumers together.
This is Jack Gonzalez, and if you're looking for great home health or hospice care for you or a loved one, then join me and Phoenix Cannibal for the Avatar Home Health and Hospice Show this and every Sunday at 12 noon here on AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
And now, back to Chris X Radio on the Voice of Texas.
This song sounds like a tariff war coming. All right, good afternoon. Welcome back to Chris X Radio. It is time to catch up with our guest. Matt Locke joins us now live from the Voice of the Working Man podcast. Always good to have Matt back on the program. Matt, thanks for being here today. It's always good to catch up with you.
Always, my friend.
You know, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I guess we need to kick off with the elephant in the room, if you will. All right, so let's talk a little bit about podcasts. Now, I know that from talking to you over the years, because we've talked on politics, many times we're locked in, dead on, right with each other, and then sometimes we vary and stray just a bit. I want to know where you stand on the tariffs that Donald Trump has issued so far.
They're brilliant. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And look, I'm not a tariff guy, but I know. I've read Art of the Deal. I know exactly what Trump's doing, and I know exactly why Trump's doing it. And I keep saying it on my podcast, and people listen, and they love it. But we are the number one superpower in the world. We are the largest economy in the world. Without our market, the rest of the world dies. I mean, it crumbles. And you saw it happen this morning as every stock market hit the circuit breaker and stopped today because of these tariffs and what's taking place with Donald Trump. And now you have 70 countries running to the bargaining table to get back in.
You know, this is one of those times where I think you and I are right on target here. I agree. Now, I've had some callers call in. They don't like the tariffs. And I'm still trying to figure out, and maybe you can answer this question, and I think you just did. Why is it okay for the rest of the world to issue tariffs against us, but we can't issue tariffs against them? So it's a great thing for their countries, but it's the end of the world for us. But I think you pointed out exactly what the reality is. If we start tariffing them and try to make it a fair playing field, guess what? All of a sudden they can't take advantage of, as you pointed out, the number one market in the world. We run the world, basically. We are the world superpower.
Well, here's the short of it. Democrats and Republicans, we've got 7 of them in the Senate trying to take away Trump's power to tariff. They get rich. They get rich by America getting kicked while we're down. They get kicked back. They're with the elite. They own these stocks and these equities and all that stuff. And now it's an accounting, right? This is Doge in the opposite way. So now Trump comes in and goes, look, Wall Street for years has told Main Street, hey, it's for your own good. Just relax. We'll bail out Henry Paulson, if anybody remembers that. We'll bail out the big banks. We'll bail out the finance guys, and screw all of you who work on Main Street. And I said it yesterday in my podcast. I got pretty emotional and pretty ticked off. You know, Angry Matt came out. There is no shame in working with your hands. There is no shame in making products. And I brought up yesterday, my grandmother, I have her 1978 General Electric refrigerator in my garage. It works better than the $3,000 Samsung refrigerator I bought 4 years ago today.
What's funny is that doesn't surprise me, because that is clearly how things were back then. And the world has changed, of course, and especially when it comes to manufacturing and stuff. And here's the other thing, too. I think a lot of people, and you said there are now 70 countries. Last number I had heard was 50, so it's jumped up another 20 since I last heard, that are now ready to come to the negotiating table. And we've already seen Israel ready to drop their tariffs. Let's see, the European Union is ready to drop their tariffs. We've got Taiwan, and all these others are getting ready to drop their tariffs, saying, hey, we just want to do business. It seems like it's working, but it's going to take a little while before the markets realize it's actually working.
Well, no, it's going to take a little while before the elites in the market give in to the fact that it's working, Chris. I'm going to correct you there, because here's what's going on. My sources in D.C. have been talking to me all day. The switchboard at the White House is on fire. These countries can't call fast enough. And I find it very interesting, because Trump has really just said, look, we're going to reciprocal tariff you. We're going to go after your VAT tax. We're going to go after your currency manipulation. And we're going to put that into some kind of formula. And we're going to say, hey, look, if you want to do business with us, here's what it looks like. Well, guess what? These countries are so beside themselves that they're now offering things that Trump didn't ask for.
You know, it is kind of interesting watching this. I'm glad to see the response is already the way it is, because you're absolutely right on the correction. Yeah, we've had one of our good friends, Chris, out in Spring, who calls in. He says, yeah, absolutely. The globalists, the elites, they're upset because this is taking the status quo and throwing it out the window. And this is going, hey, listen, Trump said, I'm America first. He wasn't kidding. And he's not playing. And this is one, to get, first of all, proper trade deals with everyone. But second of all, the other thing is to bring manufacturing and bring jobs back to America. If other countries don't have this massive incentive or these major, these tariffs and things to coerce, American factories to run them elsewhere, then they're going to stay here, and then they're going to bring them back. And watching that's already happening. We're looking at trillions of dollars pouring back into this country over time. That's not going to happen overnight, but over time. And at a certain point, once again, I think the market's going to see it. People are going to see it. And you mentioned it in real time today. The market popped, was it 800 points on a 90-day pause on the tariffs, and then Trump came out and said fake news, and then it dropped 700 points. it showed that the market is simply people reacting. What did he call them, panikins over the weekend?
One of the best lines ever, by the way. It might take over Kofefi, by the way. That might be the new word of Donald Trump is panikin. Actually tweeted it out this morning. But, Chris, I want to say something here. I mean, this Donald Trump has cojones the size of coconuts, right? And this is a big gamble. I mean, let's be frank here. You and I, we tell the truth. We don't lead our listeners on. We don't say what's not. This was a great big gamble. Trump pushed all of his chips into the middle. He said, I'm right, and we're going to find out. And I think he's right.
Trump is literally that guy standing in a crowd of people and literally looking at everyone and saying, you're all wrong. Every one of you are wrong. The pressure doesn't really affect him. But then again, when you look at it logically where we're at today, the guy took a bullet through the ear about, like I said, less than an inch from, splattering his brains all over a stage in front of the world. I guess once you've gone through something like that, you're probably not so scared of what people are going to say about you. And then that, of course, leads to the protests over the weekend, which there were 1,000 people. These are all, most of them are paid for, like I said, thousands of various protests across the country with thousands of people. And then including one up in D.C. Did you see the story with the illegal immigrant who got up and proudly proclaimed that she's unafraid of being undocumented, illegal, and also queer? Did you catch that one with her name was Grisa Martinez Rosas?
Yeah, and she's making $188,000 a year. That must be nice. I mean, hey, Tom Homan, paging Tom Homan. She's right there. She's letting you know. Look, Chris, these protests, all NGOs, all AstroTurf, all paid for. I don't know the guy on X who's doing the geofencing and tracking all of the cell phones, but all of them are being bussed in. They're all the same people. Nothing about the Democrat Party is organic. And I'll tell you what I find amazing, okay? Donald Trump, once again, is bringing out his superpower, which is to show America who all of these idiot, rhino, Democrat, liberal dirtbags are. And they all just keep lining up to take another shot at Trump. And he's like, okay, you want to go again? Click. Here's a click. He makes these people look so ridiculous. You'd think they'd learn because it always worked, Chris. Before Trump, it always worked. The media's in shambles. The state-run media's gone. Podcasts are the new deal. You're seeing the White House in the White House Correspondents Association getting completely blown up to where voices like yours and mine are being welcomed into the scene who actually tell the truth to their listeners. And now there's many people running around knowing the truth because they've gotten their information from sources like you and I, who no longer have to look at the state-run media who tell a story, not the story. It's an absolute shambles, and these guys just keep going, I want more, I want more. And Trump's like, okay, let's keep going. I'll make you look like an idiot, and he keeps doing it.
Yeah, that is one thing he is. He is a one-man wrecking ball to the Democrat propaganda apparatus, and it kills them. And we've seen it over and over. And the point you made, they just keep coming back. People like Eric Swalwell showing up at one of those, events this weekend, and he's talking about, we're kicking fascism's ass, and we're doing all this. It's like, or communism. This is a dude that was sleeping with a Chinese spy, and he's up there saying, oh, yeah, we're kicking communism's butt. We're doing this. It's almost rich if it wouldn't, so tragic. But the reality is these people continue to go this route, and they keep literally, destroying themselves. All right, you mentioned AstroTurf, which leads back to sports, and I know you're a sports guy. I don't watch as many sports as you do. Have you been watching the Final Four of the NCAA? And if you have, you have any predictions for tonight's game? U of H, where I went to college and graduated from, has made it to the NCAA championship against the Florida Gators. You got any ideas on who's going to win tonight?
Well, I'm gonna say Florida is going to win, but I really have a nice little place in my heart for Houston. I bet $50 on them against Duke, and they were plus 200 to win. So Matt Locke won a little bit of money off of Houston on Saturday. So I like Houston, but Florida's a good team. Florida's a good team. I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think inevitably Florida's probably going to win.
Okay, so I think most people are leaning that direction. U of H, the Cougs have never won an NCAA championship. They've only been, I think, one other time. So if they do, it'll be pulling off a big one. But the thing is, not only has U of H been coming back and winning some of these games, Florida Gators have been doing the same thing. They've been winning and winning. So it's, like I said, you've got two really good teams, and I guess it depends on who gets hot tonight and at what particular time as to who's going to win it. Also today, I mentioned you mentioned AstroTurf. We had the Los Angeles Dodgers over at the White House, and Trump was talking about them. And he decided to go on troll mode to a couple of Democrats who kind of weaseled their way in while they were over there. And I played the audio earlier. He doesn't want to name them because he doesn't like them, and everybody cracked up. Donald Trump is literally our first insult comic president, and I don't think he's going to stop. I don't think he's slowing down one bit.
He is the most hilarious guy ever. I retweeted that post, and we all know it's Adam Schiff. I mean, it's one of those deals where it's not a secret, but it's so funny. And the funniest part of all that is the Dodgers laughing at it. I mean, the dude's just funny, and I don't care who you are. He's just got comedic timing that you can't teach. It's just funny. I love Trump. Just in that, dude, we are so fortunate that we live in the times that we do. We are living in such historic times with such a president that there's just, we never run out of things to talk about.
No, that's something you and I have been talking about for years. It's hilarious because, years ago we talked about, man, we're never going to run out of anything to talk about. Not only has that come true, it's made truer every single day since. And every day since then, we find there's so many things. The old adage was in the old days, sometimes there were days where it was a slow news day. It was tough to find stuff. So you had to do a lot of digging to find stuff. That doesn't happen anymore. Every single day, as I'm preparing for this radio show, I am throwing out probably tens, if not hundreds, of stories that I don't have time to get to. I'm not going to have time to go into them, so I'm going to barely mention them at best because of, as you pointed out, Donald Trump, and he is so damn funny. And there is a portion of the populace that doesn't speak Trump, and so they're never going to understand his policy, but also that doesn't get his humor. So anything he does, they're not going to laugh about it. They just can't get his humor, and I think it goes for most of Hollywood and most of like SNL and that stuff. They're just not funny anymore. When the president of the United States is twice as funny as the late night show host or the Saturday Night Live, it shows that they have really lost their way, and I don't know if they're going to live through it.
Dude, you just give me a great idea for a T-shirt. I speak Trump. That I don't know how else you could say that. That is, you and these things are amazing when it comes to these one-liners, but that's exactly right. I speak Trump. I like that.
Yeah, well, it's true. These people, they don't get him. They don't understand him. They don't know when he's being funny and when he's being serious. They can't. There's no delineation. They're so blinded by rage and hatred. All they can see is, I guess, just red when he's talking. So they don't get what he's saying. They don't understand what he's doing. And usually when they don't, and he realizes it, he doubles and then triples down on it. So it drives them crazy. All right, Matt, tell everybody how they can go check out your Voice of the Working Man podcast.
Well, you can find it where all podcasts are found. I'm on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, all those places. VOTWM.com is the hub for all things Voice of the Working Man podcast.
Well, thanks for being here. And I told everybody I was going to ask you. I'm pretty sure you're up in Fort Worth, so probably be difficult for you to make it down on Friday for the pizza party. But if for some reason you can, I am extending an invite to get you free hors d'oeuvres, free pizza, and, of course, free dessert if you want to come on out from 3 to 5 on Friday at Russo's Pizzeria here.
Unfortunately, I have a real job that pays the bills, so I won't be making it to Houston on Friday, but I still owe you a cheeseburger. So at some point, you and I have to get together.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that. And from the looks of things, like I said, you're the Voice of the Working Man podcast. There's a reason for it. You're a working man and you're working hard. So, yeah, we'll have to do that. We're definitely going to have to make up. So I got free pizza coming on Friday, and then I got a free cheeseburger if I want to drive up on Saturday to Fort Worth. So I'm going to have to figure out a time to get up there so we can go cheeseburgered up. We always have a good time. We get to hang out.
That's right, my friend. And thank you for having me on. I always enjoy it.
Well, I always enjoy your expertise and your insight on things. Matt Locke, the Voice of the Working Man podcast. Appreciate your time today. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. I'll go ahead and open up phone lines. 281-558-KSEV is the number. 281-558-5738. I think his take was dead on. Everything he was saying about Trump and these tariffs. And they're slowly, but I say slowly. Because we live in a 24-hour news cycle that if the news story hasn't broke within the next hour, it's slow. We got 70 countries now already just burning up phones so they can talk to Trump. That ain't slow. It's actually kind of fast. It's been less than a week. All right, 281-558-5738. I'm Chris X. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
You're listening to Chris X Radio on AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
Hey, gang, have you been listening to Steve Davis on the Total Wealth Academy radio show? Did you attend his big event on Saturday? Oh, man, they had their India Fest, or celebrating India. They brought in some great speakers, and then they, of course, talked about how to generate wealth and passive income for yourself or your family, because that's what they do over at Total Wealth Academy. Steve Davis and Total Wealth Academy have been teaching people how to use real estate to build wealth and secondary streams of income for over 50 years now combined. If you're just getting started, maybe you don't have a whole lot of real estate experience, doesn't matter where you're at. Total Wealth Academy can take you from where you're at today and help you start realizing rates of return that are almost unheard of in just about any other investment. Now, check out the website, TotalWealthAcademy.com, to get more information or to sign up for one of their free sample classes or their member spotlight nights. They've got their online classes, and just last Saturday they had their spring event. They'll have another one in the fall, so it'll be a different theme, but same idea. Generating wealth via real estate investing. TotalWealthAcademy.com is your first step towards achieving financial independence via real estate investing. I've known Steve Davis for almost 20 years now. I've watched him teach thousands of people on how to invest in real estate. Many went from having no real estate to retirement using those investing principles they teach at Total Wealth Academy. In my opinion, he's the best real estate consultant in the country. He's right here in Houston, and he can be yours. Check out TotalWealthAcademy.com to get more information, and don't forget to listen to Steve Davis on the Total Wealth Academy radio show. It airs Monday through Saturday right here at noon on the Voice of Texas. That's TotalWealthAcademy.com, and just tell them that Chris X sent you.
Plumbing emergencies never happen at a convenient time. Nix Plumbing offers free estimates and free second opinions. Call Nix Plumbing and Sewer Services, 713-868-9907, or visit us on the web, nixplumbing.com.
NPL 38548.
This is Kevin O'Hara with O'Hara & Company Real Estate in O'Hara Homes. I'm going to drop some truth bombs that I believe. We're in a global war against evil. Donald Trump is a wartime president. COVID-19 was not the bioweapon the jab was. A surgical mask will not prevent you from getting a virus. The 2020 election was rigged. If you're watching mainstream media, you're being lied to. The elites of this world have been running the largest human trafficking and pedophile ring. The Ukraine is a deep state stronghold. God is real and created two genders, male and female, and Jesus died for our sins. If you're not awake yet, you better wake up. If you want a real estate company that'll give you the truth, give O'Hara & Company Real Estate a call at 281-373-3393 or look us up on the web at o'harare.com. If you're looking for a contractor, call O'Hara Homes at the same number, 281-373-3393. God wins this war. Nothing can stop what is coming. Where we go one, we go all. God bless America, and God bless Texas.
And now, we return you to your regularly scheduled dose of common sense. Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio.
Reminds me of David Bowie, Space Hog from the 90s. In the meantime, we're rocking. All right, I want to thank Matt Locke from the Voice of the Working Man podcast. Always good to catch up with him. And like I said, I know he calls into various shows and on various stations. He may have been heard on another station earlier this morning. So it was good to get him back on the program. I missed it. I didn't even know, and he let me know. So sometimes I'll catch him every now and then if I'm out driving or whatever. I'm like, hey, there's my old pal Matt Locke. So anyway, you can catch the Voice of the Working Man podcast just about anywhere. I encourage you to check it out. He does a great job. Him and I, like I said, we have different views on certain things, but man, we oftentimes, no matter what our views are, we end up in the same location because, well, We're both common sense-minded people. All right, once again, shout out to Dairy Queen for bringing blizzards by the station today. They brought the confetti one, which was great. I love the blizzards. I think I like the chocolate ones even better. Man, Gary, did you get one? Did you get a blizzard? Did you enjoy it? All right, good. So good. Everybody got blizzards today, so you can't go wrong with that. U of H playing San Antonio tonight. I'm playing in San Antonio against the Florida Gators, so that'll be an NCAA championship. So go Cougs if they can win. I hope they win just to get the first one, and not just because I went there. Man, by the way, I've not been to U of H in a long time. At some point, I need to get another U of H grad and go back up there and just kind of go walk around and check out the campus, because I have not seen it since they put in those parking garages. Drove by, it was over off, was it Calhoun? Man, saw those big old parking garages, and just, then again, I graduated in 98. So lots happened in the last 20, 30, how many years now? All right, reminder once again, our next pizza party is set this coming Friday. This Friday, folks. So make an appointment to come join us. Friday, April 11th, 3 to 5 p.m. at Russo's Pizzeria, located at 5727 Westheimer at Chimney Rock. You're invited to come on out, have free hors d'oeuvres, have free pizza. We're going to have free dessert. Rich Rosso gets credit. He buys everybody dessert, which is so nice. And Rich is really a super nice guy. He's also pretty smart, so you should probably listen to him on the Real Investment Advisor show here on 6 to 7 a.m. on the Voice of Texas. You should probably do that. But we're going to be giving away custom knives from Glenn over at Lone Star Knives. Chris, one of his associates, will be there with knives, so if you don't win one, you can even purchase them. Also, we've got the tumblers that they're in. I saw those today from Kurt over at Texas Hardwood Products. Kurt, man, you did a bang-up job. Those things look awesome. So everybody is going to be vying for the tumblers and the knives, and we'll have some station mugs and some other things to give away. So good station swag. Once again, just come on out. If you want to just attend, come on out. But if you can, send me an email, chrisx@ksevradio.com. Just looking for a head count, so we'll know how many people will be there, so we can make sure everybody gets pizza and hors d'oeuvres and dessert and all that stuff. That's the whole reason for the email. But once again, I do know there are some people that don't do email, believe it or not, and they let me know ahead of time, hey, listen, I'm coming with 3 or 4 people, and I've still been getting emails, over the weekend, and I'm going to look, oh, yeah, here's a couple right here. Okay, so you just got a couple more. Good. I always appreciate when you guys email me and let me know you're coming. chrisx@ksevradio.com. Just looking for a head count. So, and once again, you guys are going to love the giveaways, and we'll have fun 3 to 5 p.m., so we'll get you out even early enough before the Amigos are done. So you'll get to listen to the Amigos on your way out, and if you're heading home or wherever you're going when you're done at the pizza party. Okay, in the next segment, or the next hour, because we're about to wrap things up here in the first hour, we'll talk about President Trump threatening China with 50% additional tariffs because they imposed retaliatory tariffs against our reciprocal tariffs against their tariffs. Do you see how silly this is? But I think China, at a certain point, is going to cave. Now, they're going to push it to the nth because they're master negotiators, so they'll push it to the nth, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We'll get into that. You've got EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen says the bloc has offered 0 for 0 tariffs. In other words, they will drop their tariffs if Trump drops his. You didn't know the European Union was tariffing us, did you? Yeah, that's right. Everybody tariffing us. All right, hour number 2 is up next. Don't you go anywhere.